RRHAVONA. Gia Giudice plans to follow in her mom's footsteps. Gia Giudice has opened up about her plans for the future, indicating that she'd like to follow in her mom's footsteps. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star was recently under fire for saying that she's financially independent. Now she is talking about how she's put her law school plans on hold and thinks she'll be a real housewife one day. Here is what the RHONG daughter had to say. Will Gia Giudice become the next generation of housewives? In recent seasons of Real Housewives of New Jersey, Gia has received backlash from fans who think she is too eager to jump into the drama. However, she pointed out that her fellow castmates continue to talk about her and she responds. Last November, Andy Cohen hinted at the possibility of Gia becoming the next generation of housewives. She spoke about the possibility on a recent episode of the Trading Secrets podcast. During the conversation, she was asked if she thought she'd be a real housewife one day. Gia Giudice took a moment to think about it before responding, "Yeah." Over the years, the RHONG star said that she wasn't always excited to appear on the Bravo show. Eventually, she realized that it was an amazing opportunity for her. Pressing pause on her law school plans and what's next. Her parents' own legal problems initially sparked Gia's interest in attending law school. Both Joe and Teresa Giudice served time in prison for bank, mail, wire, and bankruptcy fraud. For now, Gia Giudice says she is hitting pause on her plans for law school. Instead, she is going to focus on being an influencer and see where it goes. The RHONG daughter continued, "Law school will always be there, but maybe this other path won't." Right now, she has several revenue streams she is working on. The song "Waking Up in the Morning," which she sang on Real Housewives of New Jersey when she was a small child, has risen to popularity. She decided to capitalize on it by making sweatshirts. "It went crazy," she said. "We sold a ton." After all was said and done, Gia Giudice earned 70% of the profits from the sale of the sweatshirts. The RHONG star has also landed several brand deals on social media. She's earning more as an influencer than she ever has on the show. Gia Giudice revealed that she's been approached more than once to appear on Love Island. She has turned down the opportunity because she has a boyfriend. Plus, she is focusing on a big project, which is assumed to be her own reality TV show, making it in Manhattan. Gia Giudice had always admired her mother's resilience and ability to command attention. Growing up as the eldest daughter of Teresa Giudice, a cornerstone of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Gia had experienced the highs and lows of the public eye. Now, at 23, she was ready to carve out her own path, one that mirrored her mom's legacy, but added her own flair. It all started at a casual family dinner. The Giudice family, minus Joe, who was still in Italy, gathered around Teresa's sprawling dining table. Between bites of chicken parmigiana and sips of red wine, Teresa brought up an idea that had been simmering in her mind for weeks. "Gia," Teresa said, her tone full of encouragement, "you've got what it takes to be on TV. You're smart. You're beautiful, and let's be honest, you've grown up with cameras around you. Why not think about joining the Housewives? Or maybe even doing your own thing?" Gia's sisters, Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana, all chimed in with varying degrees of excitement. Melania, ever the firecracker, declared, "You'd be way more interesting than half the people on Bravo right now." "No offense, Mom." Teresa laughed, tossing her hair over her shoulder. "None taken, Melania." Gia smiled, feeling a mix of pride and apprehension. She had spent years studying law at Rutgers and was in the middle of preparing for law school applications. While she had aspirations in the legal field, the allure of the spotlight was undeniable. She loved advocating for causes she believed in, and what better platform than reality TV to amplify her voice? The next day, Gia called her best friend, Natasha, to discuss the idea. They met at a cozy cafe in Montclair, where Gia ordered her usual oat milk latte. "Natasha, my mom thinks I should go into reality TV," Gia said, stirring her drink. "Are you seriously considering it?" Natasha asked, her eyebrows raised. Gia shrugged. "Kind of. I mean, I've seen what it's done for my mom. She's built a whole empire. But then there's all the drama. Do I really want that? Drama follows you whether you want it or not, Natasha pointed out. At least this way, you're in control of the narrative. Plus, you've got a built-in fan base. That night, Gia found herself scrolling through old clips of her mom on RHONJ. From table flips to heartfelt family moments, Teresa's journey had been nothing short of iconic. Gia began to imagine what her own storyline could look like. She could share her journey as a young woman balancing law school, family, and life in the spotlight. Perhaps she could even use the platform to champion important causes, like prison reform, a subject close to her heart after her parents' legal troubles. A week later, Gia sat down with Teresa and her uncle Joe Gorga to get their advice. Joe, ever the protective uncle, was skeptical. "Gia, you've got so much going for you. Why do you want to invite the chaos?" he asked, leaning forward in his chair. "It's not about the chaos, Uncle Joe. It's about the opportunity." Mom turned her struggles into something powerful. "I think I can do the same, but in my own way," Gia explained. Teresa nodded proudly. "Joe, she's got a good head on her shoulders, and she's not a kid anymore. If she wants to do this, we'll support her." With her family's blessing, Gia decided to test the waters. She reached out to one of Bravo's producers, who had known her since she was a little girl. They were thrilled at the idea of Gia stepping into the spotlight and proposed a trial run, a mini-series focused on Gia's transition into adulthood. The series, tentatively titled Growing Up Giudice, would follow Gia as she navigated her final year of undergraduate studies, applied to law schools, and balanced family life. It would also feature cameos from Teresa, her sisters, and even her dad via video calls from Italy. Filming began in the spring, and Gia quickly realized how different it was to be the center of attention rather than a background character. In one scene, she visited her dad in Italy, a tearful yet joyful reunion that highlighted their deep bond. In another, she and Melania had a heated argument over borrowed clothes, providing the kind of relatable sibling drama audiences loved. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Social media buzzed with opinions about Gia's new venture. While many fans were supportive, others criticized her for riding on her mom's coattails. Gia addressed the negativity head-on in an Instagram post. "Yes, I'm Teresa Giudice's daughter, and I'm proud of it. But I'm also my own person with my own goals. This show is about sharing my journey, the good and the bad, and I hope you'll join me for the ride," she wrote. The post garnered thousands of likes and supportive comments, including one from Andy Cohen himself. "The next generation is here, and we're ready for it." By the time the miniseries premiered, Gia had become a household name in her own right. The episodes were a hit, showcasing her charisma, intelligence, and vulnerability. Fans loved seeing the softer side of the Giudice family and praised Gia for her authenticity. The success of Growing Up Giudice led to discussions about Gia joining RHONJ as a full-time cast member. She was hesitant at first, knowing the intensity of the Housewives world, but after much deliberation, she decided to take the plunge. Her storyline would focus on her burgeoning law career, her relationship with her sisters, and her efforts to navigate love and friendship under the watchful eye of the cameras. When Gia made her debut as a housewife, she brought a fresh energy to the show. She was candid but composed, never one to back down from a challenge. In one memorable episode, she confronted another cast member who questioned her family's integrity, proving that she had inherited her mom's fiery spirit. Teresa couldn't have been prouder. Watching Gia hold her own in the chaotic world of reality TV was a full-circle moment. "Gia, you're a natural," Teresa said during a heartfelt conversation on the show. "You're showing the world what it means to be a Giudice, strong, loyal, and unstoppable." As Gia's star continued to rise, she remained grounded. She kept up with her law studies, worked on charitable initiatives, and stayed close to her family. While she had stepped into her mother's world, she was doing it on her own terms. Gia Giudice wasn't just following in her mom's footsteps, she was creating a legacy all her own.